Hey friends, it's Baris here. Hope you're all good. These days are a bit busy for me. Maybe you have seen on social media that I did a workshop in Burdur, and before that I also did another one at Dore Music Art Market store here in Istanbul, Turkey, and I am also planning a few more events. After these two events, I wanted to talk about the setup I use and how I prepare it for the workshops. I will try not to go into too much detail in this video and will briefly discuss the equipment I use and its purpose, but if there are any specific things you are wondering about, I can create content about them in the coming days. So let's get started. First of all, let's start by making a list of the things I bring with me. Usually the things I use for the workshops are different from the things I use for the concerts. The details such as how many guitars I will use, the size of the venue, the security of the venue have a significant role in our decision on what to take with us. However, the conditions of the workshops are similar, compared to the concerts. The things I bring with me are usually the same. So let's talk about the guitars. I usually use my Apocalypse and Silver guitars. Apocalypse is a 7-string guitar and tuned to drop A, but I can consider it as E standard if I don't use the lower A string. And the Silver is tuned to drop D, which I use for the song Rapid Eye Movement. At the beginning of my signal chain, I have my tuner pedal, which is both chromatic tuner. Actually, I use it as a key switch pedal, but of course I also use it for tuning. And this is my Crybaby 535Q wah pedal that I've been using since 2008 and still works like a beast. And I think there are not too many things to talk about it. As you might guess, I always bring my quad cortex with me. Before that, I used to play with analog pedals and really struggled, but now everything is much easier with this device. I generally use 1 or 2 presets on quad cortex for all of my needs, and I have created a rig with Mesa Boogie amps and created scenes for riffs, solos and clean parts. It may change depending on the genre, but I use this preset these days, so let me show you quickly how it sounds. Another benefit of this device is that it can also work as an audio interface, and this is particularly important to me as it offers several advantages. For example, I can record the entire event. I mean, not only my processed guitar signal, but also recording it separately as DI, and this gives me the convenience of being able to mix it later. Additionally, I can record my microphone through the second input without getting mixed up with the guitar tone. I'm able to do the things that could be done with the help of a few people and the equipment all on my own, which is really great. Another advantage is that I can get all the sound from the computer through the pedal. I can play a backing track session that I opened in the DAW that I use, which is Logic Pro, or I can get the sound of the amp sims I use. These two outputs are where both the guitar tone and the sound from the connected computer come out. I can do that with one cable for the left and one cable for the right, and it makes it easier for me to personally handle any mixing issues that may arise, and it is much more convenient than having to give instructions to people around me, such as turn up the volume or add a low cut. Thanks to all these advantages, I can play my own songs very smoothly because both the backing track and the guitar tone come from the same Logic project, and in this way the automations I made before come into play, and I don't have to constantly change the tone with my foot while playing. For example, if there's a need for delay effect, it will be automatically engaged at the right moment. You may think that this is a cheat, but I know that many big bands are also using this method. Dream Theater and Megadeth are the first ones that come to my mind. Maybe for a concert I would prefer a more analog method, but for a workshop it's quite practical. I also created an empty preset on the Quad Cortex, but don't be fooled by the term empty because this preset allows me to control Logic Pro and main stage through the messages sent to the computer. So I can use the plugins on my MacBook instead of Quad Cortex. I know it may seem confusing, but why we use these devices if we won't take advantage of their features, right? And as you can guess, I bring my MacBook with me to be able to do the things that I mentioned. So let's talk about it. I can say that the MacBook is the most important equipment for me because all the backing tracks I play over, all the applications that allow me to record the event, and all the softwares that control the cameras work on this device. And I know that computers don't always work flawlessly, and because of that, it will be a mistake to use such an important device without a spare. That's why I also bring a MacBook Air with me with the same setting, but this MacBook Pro is my main device. I also bring a small Stream Deck with me. It is a controller, but it does more than you might think. For example, I can start audio and camera recording with just one button, or I can switch between my guitar plugins on main stage. I can even play piano with it because it also sends MIDI messages. The most important applications I use are MainStage and Logic Pro. With MainStage, I can use not only Quad Cortex but also plugins on my MacBook, and it is very useful, especially when giving examples in workshops. I have 4 patches over here and I can switch between them with Quad Cortex and Stream Deck. As I mentioned earlier, all of my songs play within a Logic project, and all of the plugins that I use in real recording sessions are also turned on in these projects. Okay, this is an audio recording application which is called Audio Hijack, and it runs in the background. As I mentioned earlier, it allows me to record the entire event, and it makes my job really easier. I can record everything that I want separately and in desired format, and later on I can mix the audio within any video editing software. So boring tools are left. As you might guess, I always bring extra strings and tools that can be used to change strings in case of any problems. I have guitar straps in case of standing playing, various liquids to clean the guitar after the performance, 9-volt batteries for my guitars and the wah pedal, and in terms of laptop tools, chargers, extension cords and converters, and SSD for file transfers. Yeah, I tried to explain the things as detailed as possible, and I didn't go into too much detail in this video, to avoid the video being too long. But if you write the things you are curious about in the comments, maybe I can shoot some detailed video in the coming days. Additionally, if there are some tiny things that I forgot to mention in this video, I will put them in the description down below. And soon I will announce some new workshop events, so you can follow me on social media to catch the updates. I hope you liked the video and thank you for watching. See you next time.